Good day, traders, and welcome to the first weekly episode here on FX Price Action Setups. I hope everyone had a good holiday and is well rested and ready for 2019. Yes, like I said, we'll be bringing you guys weekly episodes, and we'll be looking at the week that was and the week ahead and some setups for the week. Also, some announcements on prizes and future events. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the action. Yeah, it's been 2019 kicked off with a bang, with a big flash crash. I hope you guys caught that. Let's quickly delve in and have a look at what happened and what to look forward to for this week.
Yes, so I don't know how many of you was trading when this flash crash happened. Yeah, so what exactly happened? It sounds like everything is being blamed on Apple. Some bad news coming out of Apple, and they're calling it some sort of pair trade that unwinded when obviously the Apple shares collapsed after hours. But yeah, it's mostly the Asian pairs. You saw a big crash on the USD yen. The Aussie dollar and the New Zealand dollar also big crashes. Actually, the whole FX market went ballistic. People say this is a freak event. I think this was all manipulated and planned. Obviously, beginning of the year, the liquidity was also low, so it was much easier to force these markets to these levels. But I'm quickly going to delve into these pairs. And just starting with the USD, if you look on a weekly chart, though, this spike doesn't look too bad. But obviously, on a 5 or 15-minute chart, this was quite a significant drop. Just looking at this recovery on a 15-minute, though, it does look like this is just sort of ranging. So I don't know. The USD looks like it might come down. At least I don't know if it's going to make new lows or maybe even come and take these lows. But like I say, I'm not in a trade yet, but I'm definitely going to stalk these Asian pairs this week, mostly Aussie dollar, and we'll have a look at that pair a little bit later in the episode. Let's quickly look at the USD yen on a weekly chart. I think most feeds, most brokers would have cleared this low. I think a lot of brokers, liquidity providers were tested during this time. And if you got a crappy broker, you would have had a big spike here. And if you were in the market, you would have probably been taken out here at the bottom. But yeah, like I said, I think most brokers would have cleared this low over here. I'm using the Oanda feed. The Oanda feed didn't actually clear this low, but I think most brokers did. But yeah, the pairs actually went to some pretty interesting levels. I think looking at the New Zealand dollar, what looks like a flash crash. If you look on a weekly chart, it's actually quite technically perfect. Perfectly went into this weekly order block, touched that weekly body perfectly, and now it looks like it's ready to go higher. Aussie yen also had a big crash. But yeah, this is a weekly chart, and look at all this liquidity that was taken on the Aussie dollar pairs. For me, the Aussie dollar is looking ready for a reversal, and the Euro Aussie dollar. Oh, this is such a beautiful chart. We actually had this marked in our trading room, and it finally took these eyes perfectly. Look at that. If you guys haven't seen my video on the stop run, a concept that I learned from Michael Addleston, you can find the video in this YouTube channel. Just scroll back a bit and you'll find the one stop run. It's really a great concept. And yeah, like I say, the Aussie dollar looks ready to turn around for me. Yeah, like I say, we'll cover the Aussie dollar a bit later. But look at this beautiful spike. Like I say, they call it a flash crash. I call it manipulation, and this actually looks quite normal to me. Once this liquidity is taken, now we can start looking for big longs, and I'm expecting these eyes here to be taken in the next few months. Yes, so also let's have a look at the news that came out last week. Like I said, I wasn't trading, but I just looked at the numbers on non-farm payroll. A big beat on non-farm payroll, and what's even more interesting to me was more significant to me was the beat on average hourly earnings, which was a big miss last time. Finally, average hourly earnings is a beat, which means which is a good sign for inflation, and which points that we might not go into the recession that everyone's expecting. But yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, this is good news for the world economy. Average hourly earnings, nice big beat there, and a nice big beat on non-farm. So that's good news for the US dollar. So we'll see how that plays out in the week. And yeah, if we look at some of the news events coming out this week, I think a big one to watch will be on Wednesday. The Canadian interest rate decision. They should be raising rates. And we'll definitely be watching that. We saw some big moves on the Canadian dollar. As you guys know, I've been looking to short the USD CAD for quite a while. I had a bit of a short earlier last year, and it went higher, but it had a big drop a few days ago, and I think this is definitely one to watch on Wednesday. Also, we got some FOMC meeting minutes on Wednesday. Will they be giving sort of hints on where they're going with the interest rates? I don't really expect much on there. I expect them to be a little bit dovish, because I don't think they can risk being too aggressive with interest rates now, with the stock market sort of being where it is right now. But yes, let's quickly have a look at some trade setups for this week. Yes, you guys might have noticed we've got a slightly different format for our weekly trade setups. I've asked members of the community to submit their trade setups over the weekend, and we'll be discussing, or we might be using some of them during our weekly episodes. So just check on the weekends. I'll be opening this setups for next week channel on our Discord trading room, and then on the weekend you guys can submit some trade ideas there, and we might use them in our episode. I quickly just want to run through two trade setups that we looked at. The one is the Aussie dollar US dollar weekly submitted by Andile. Andile is a great trader that I've been working with for quite a while. He's a great swing trader, Elliott Wave student, and I normally use him for direction. And I've got quite a similar view to him on the Aussie dollar, and I'm quickly want to delve in and look for entries on that. So yeah, as we discussed on the Aussie dollar, we had this big stop run on here. And as I said, I believe we're going to take these highs and quite possibly even higher. But that we still got to hunt for entry on the Aussie dollar, and I'm going to quickly delve into a lower time frame, and we'll have a look over there. So on the weekly time frame, what I'm going to mark off is this breaker block over here. This is pretty much where the last up candle before this whole flash crash. So I won't be entering until we at least get to this level, and the liquidity I see over here is this low over here. So I'll be putting an alert on here, and then I'll be looking for the market to get down here before I'll be getting long. But it is quite a big swing setup, so I don't want to miss it. So we'll be stalking that one. And the next one we want to look at quickly is the pound US dollar. I'm going to start off on a weekly chart and show you guys. We had this obviously we had this big stop run here, and then this market just collapsed. there's been sort of no correction yet, and we're expecting at least a little bit of a correction. On a weekly time frame, there's two options that I see, and the one is just sort of a running flat correction before we'll continue down, and the second option I'm looking at, and we'll only really know later, is maybe a little bit of a higher move here to this pivot point before the next drop. Either way, there's quite a few pips to be made, and obviously this will create, if we have this option, it'll create an expanding flat instead of this running flat. But either way, I'm looking for longs on the pound USD. On the daily time frame, you guys can see we also had this big stop run, which is indication to me that the market is ready on the 1.27 extension, which is quite perfect for a correction. And yes, looking on the 4 hour, I'll be looking for my entry just underneath this low. We got this breaker block again, the last bullish block before the stops was run. This is quite a clear level for me, so again, I'll be putting on alerts on here, and this is one I'll definitely be hunting, at least for the highs over here. I think will be minimum, but quite possibly even higher. So yeah, those are the two main ones I want to discuss with you guys. Yeah, the other ones, just join our Discord room. We got tons more setups that we'll be taking. But yeah, these are definitely two to look forward to. Yeah, so as always, we're gonna finish off this episode with some action from my Discord trading room from last week.